There's an energetic shift that you can make today that can completely uplift your spirit and upgrade your life. This is so powerful that it's even used to predict how profitable a company is going to be. I will be guiding you through a meditation so that you can anchor this shift in your body by the end of the video, but let me show you how this works first. Today's video is inspired by a conversation between Joe Hudson and Tiago Forte. Joe Hudson is an executive coach. He's worked with some of the top figures in Silicon Valley, and he is a former venture capitalist. Very interesting person, and I'm going to link to that conversation below because it's absolute gold. In this video, Joe Hudson said something that stopped me in my tracks, that enjoyment is the best metric of efficiency. And he explains that often when we think about efficiency, we think about speed, but actually efficiency is energy. And what's the best way to know if you're using your energy efficiently? It is to see if you're enjoying what you're doing. If you're enjoying what you're doing, you are naturally in the flow, absorbed, and you're going to get better results and outcomes at the end. This doesn't just work on an individual level. This also can work systemically. So at a company level, Joe Hudson said that when he was in his role as an investor, one of the lead indicators he would look at to make a decision, do I want to give $1 million to this company, was how much the workers in the company were enjoying what they were doing, because it's so strongly tied to efficiency and therefore great outcomes, profitability, and the success of the company. He even talked about an experience with one of his own workers where things just weren't really working out very well, and he had a hunch that it's because they weren't having any fun. So he asked, it looks like you've spent about 6 or 7 hours doing this particular task. It's not gone well. I get the sense you're not enjoying it. And the person was like, yes. And this was Joe Hudson's directive. He said, I do not want you to ever spend more than 20 minutes doing something that you are not enjoying. Instead, your sole task is to find out how can you enjoy this more. And he even goes on to prompt Tiago, who he's having the conversation with, and say, just in this moment, right now, enjoy yourself 5% more. And there's just a pause, and they're both sitting there. And the point is, nothing is happening differently, but there's an opening and a curiosity about, how can I enjoy this 5% more? It's so simple, but so powerful and very disarming, because it turns out this simple question can be applied to anything that you're doing in your life in a way that brings you about so much more ease and freedom and abundance. And I've been practicing this absolutely everywhere in my life, whether it's having a coffee with my partner, whether it's doing my finances, whether it's practicing yoga, whether it's cooking the dinner, and asking myself this question, how can I enjoy this a little bit more, has changed everything. I'll give you a couple of examples. In the case of having the coffee with my beloved, I was actually asking him this question, and I was asking it of myself as we were sitting there having brunch, which was already pleasant, but I was like, how could I enjoy this a little bit more? And what I realized was my legs were actually crossed really tightly and kind of like twined around each other all the way down to my ankles. So I was like, okay, well, first of all, I can enjoy this a bit more if I just untangle my physical position. I can also enjoy myself a little bit more if I stop thinking about all the things I should be doing when I get home. And also, I can enjoy myself a little bit more if I just stare into his eyes and really be present and let myself feel the love and the company and just the good vibes that were there in that exact moment. I've also found that this can be a question of physical conditions. Like sometimes it's a subtle inner energetic shift, but also sometimes it's very practical. Now, I hope this isn't too much information, but I noticed this the other day when I was starting to cook the dinner, and I asked myself, how can I enjoy myself a little bit more in this moment? And I realised I was just not honouring the fact that I needed to go to the bathroom. Okay, I just needed to pee. And I was holding it in because I was prioritising getting the dinner done quickly because I was quite hungry. And I thought, wow, I'm actually letting physical discomfort reduce my enjoyment of cooking dinner because I'm thinking that I need to be going faster. So I went to the loo, I came back, and I actually spent some time clearing the surfaces in the kitchen so I could have a really nice clean environment where I could cook. And it made the process a little bit longer, but it made it so much more enjoyable. So sometimes it's physical conditions. And then another one was, I don't love sitting down and doing my financial admin. I'll admit it's not my favourite thing. However, when I ask myself, how can I enjoy this a bit more? What comes to me is I can enjoy it more if I really intend to do it exceptionally well. So when I get rid of any associations or perceptions I have with it's just not my thing, I'm never going to be amazing at this, and commit myself to this is going to get done really, really well, I personally start to enjoy it more. And this is going to be different for everybody, but it's a really potent exploration. And when you explore it, you start to realize there's so much more juicy potential in every single moment than you've maybe been allowing yourself to have. Because this is about giving ourselves permission, isn't it? There's so much conditioning that tells us that fun is just frivolous and that things that are valuable are somewhat fraught with struggle. That's just not true. It's old beliefs that we now get to release. So in my explorations, I realised that there are a number of things which I'm now labelling fun killers that get in the way of enjoying the moment. For me, the first one is rushing. I will admit that although I can be very calm and very present, I have a certain restless quality to me in day-to-day life where I like things to be done quickly and efficiently, and I can find myself really hurrying through tasks, especially ones that I don't love. And this is a real dampener on pleasure and in enjoyment. And when I started practicing slowing down and letting myself take my time with all the things that I was doing, I found my outcomes flowed much better, they were higher quality, and I was feeling so much more satisfied at the end of every day. That rushing is a way of saying to the deep subconscious that this is not safe, this is not good enough, this is not the right thing to be doing right now. But taking your time and allowing yourself the grace of a paced approach to things is absolute gold. And very related to that is the next fun killer, which is thinking the thing that you're doing isn't valuable, it's pointless, that's something better that you should be doing. I mean, it's just so fraught with unpleasantness if you spend your time doing things where half of your consciousness and energy is in that space of, I should be doing something else. So obviously there's things that can feel more or less meaningful and important to do in life, and we can be discerning about that. But once you've decided this is what I'm doing, let yourself feel that that's the most important thing in life in the moment, and things are going to really, really shift. Another fun killer is self-criticism. It's related to the last one, but again, if you're spending half of your energy thinking you're not doing what you're doing well, it's not good enough, again, it's not going to be a pleasant experience. So can you, in this quest to enjoy everything a little bit more, let that voice just ease off and be in the moment and accept that you're doing what you're doing the best of your ability, and that is more than good enough. Let's move now into our meditation for today. This is going to be really fun and you're going to let yourself enjoy it, perhaps more than you've ever enjoyed a meditation before. Find a nice comfortable position where you're going to be safe and undisturbed. Allow yourself to settle. Feel the parts of your body that are making contact with the chair or the ground. And tune in with the natural rhythm of your breath. There are no requirements here to breathe in a particular way. All you're doing is listening, sensing, and exploring if your breath can be something to enjoy. You might let the corners of your eyes gently smile. This is a micro shift. Or you might choose not to do that, and you just notice how that choice feels. And I'd like to invite you now to explore, can you make yourself 5% more comfortable? Maybe there's a subtle relaxing of the body, of the brow. Maybe you adjust your whole position or posture. Maybe you decide to grab a blanket. Maybe something shifts in your mind. And now, can you enjoy yourself 5% more right now, in this moment? Give yourself that permission. If you notice any awkwardness or any resistance, you're not doing anything wrong. And now with this comfortable, enjoyable energy, I'd like you to imagine in your mind's eye, there's a large, still lake in front of you. Vast and beautiful. This lake reflects the calm that's already inside you. And you feel the enjoyment of just being on the bank of this lake. noticing the wonder and the beauty of nature. And you're holding a smooth stone in your hand. And this smooth stone carries a belief that is ready to go now. Maybe it says fun isn't productive. Maybe it says if I relax, I'll fall behind. Maybe it says if I enjoy myself, I'll upset other people. Whatever message it's holding for you, whenever you're ready, you're going to skim that stone across the water, just throwing it with the exact speed and angle, watching it bounce until it gently drops down to the bottom of the lake, where that belief or that energy can be recycled, washed away. Pick up another stone. Let it carry whatever beliefs around enjoyment or ease need to be released. And again, skim that stone across the lake. Feel the enjoyment of just catching the right angle so it bounces over and over again. You just watch it into the distance until it drops, letting it all go, letting it all be washed away. And one final time, you pick up one more smooth stone. You're enjoying the skillfulness of being able to skim it across the surface of the water. You do that now, watching it bounce, watching it travel. So satisfying. And allowing it to carry away anything that's no longer serving you down to the bottom of that lake for transformation. And opening to this as your practice, the practice of enjoyment. Choosing it in every moment as far as you can, even if it's a little micro shift more. You don't need to try harder, just opening to the pleasure of life. And as we come to the end of this meditation, you imagine yourself walking away from this lake with a sense of deep inner fun and enjoyment, back to where you're sitting or lying down, into this present moment, into this body, perhaps bringing some movement, some enjoyable movement, something nice, something that feels good, grounding and reconnecting. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. If this moved something in you, I would love to hear about it. And if you want more of this kind of realignment, then stick around. There's lots more coming on the channel, and you can also find ways of working with me one-to-one in the description below. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.